Well, hello, Kristen.
Hello, Laura.
We are here on about to be a very snowy Sunday.
Yep.
And as the snow falls outside the window here in the Northeast, here in New York, the rain is falling on the traitors. We are obsessed with the show. I personally am 5 seconds from finding out where Alan Cumming lives and sleeping on his front lawn
And stalking him.
with a sleeping bag. That's where I'm at. I'm going to put a teepee up or something fabulous because Alan wouldn't come into like a teepee. He would need we would need like a glam tent or something just so fabulous. But yes, the Traitors is back.
It's back.
Oh my God, I love this show more than life itself. I don't even know what to do.
I know.
So
It's so good.
it's such fanfare.
It started out so good.
Oh, it's great. And okay, so we're going to cover today episodes 1, 2, and 3 because that's how it popped out.
Yes.
That's how it came, how it birthed itself to us. It came out episodes 1, 2, 3.
Yep.
And then we'll sort of get on track in the next couple of weeks, but we're trying right now to get over the traitors. So, they're driving up, and of course, there we go, as we are the ladies in the living room, as we are the BravHos, and it's all things Bravo for us. Bam! We see Dorinda saying, I used to come to Scotland every weekend. Did you know that? Because her husband was Scottish, which I didn't realize.
Her first husband,
It's to Medley. Was it Medley?
Must be, right?
I think he was her second husband.
Was her second husband?
I don't really know.
Because I think that her first husband, maybe her first husband was British.
We have to get
We got to find out.
We were going to get our girl Dorinda on here just to talk about, if
she's
nothing
great.
else, to talk about Alan Cumming.
Yeah.
And what it was like to be in the presence of Alan for more
Of the great
than an hour. Oh my God, he's so genius. I mean, if you remember him from back in the day, I mean, he was in Cabaret.
Yes.
Cabaret. But
Yeah.
that was a while ago. We're talking about the 90s. I even feel like maybe even the late 80s. I'm not even sure, but it was like
How long
96.
did he have that role? Like for a really
he was
long
in there.
time?
He was in there for quite a bit, and I
Yeah.
loved him then, and now I'm just in love. Like I just can't. All right.
Do you know, side note, when
get
I
to
saw Cabaret on Broadway
Yes.
one time, you know who was that role?
Who was in the role?
John Cicada. Do you remember him?
I love John Cicada.
I
Don't
love
even
him.
Start me with John.
Yeah, it was a long time ago.
John
He
Cicada
was great.
has the voice of an angel.
Yes,
He
does.
really does.
He does.
I remember working when I was a kid, when I worked at NBC many years ago, when I was starting out my career. We did this show called Christmas in Washington.
Okay.
And John Cicada, it was probably 98 or something.
He was big. At that
He was
point.
huge.
In the
And
90s?
He
Yeah.
sang "Oh Holy Night"
Oh, yeah.
out into wherever we were on the mall there with a Christmas in Washington concert was, and they light the tree. It was an NBC show.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my God. I was like,
You got chills?
God, are you there? Like, it literally sounded like the angel had dropped from the sky.
Oh,
And
wow.
John Cicada saying, "Oh, holy night." But just the way he's got that voice. Oh, my
Oh, God.
So to
It's
see-
like velvet.
Oh,
It's a beautiful
I
voice.
can't believe you just brought up John Cicada.
I know that name came out of nowhere,
those
right? But when you said
listeners-
Alan Cumming and Cabaret, my mind went there.
Oh, that's great. I love
Yeah.
that it went there. And for those listeners that don't know who John Cicada is, it's spelled Secada.
Mhm.
And go Google him because he's got a voice. What was that
Yeah,
one song? you said?
beautiful voice.
Uh,
Just another day.
Just another day. And that's not
Yeah.
what he sounds like.
Yeah.
That's what I sound like. Trying to sound like John Cicada. But we digress. Back to the traitors.
Traitors.
So we meet.
So Dorinda was in her element because she spent time in Scotland. So
Well,
she was used to it.
she was used
I
to
guess.
right. I mean, or she's been there, so she knows what it can be like. This
Mhm.
Scottish summers.
Mhm.
But I love that she's got her bestie Dorinda there, Dolores there.
Yeah.
Except I gotta say, as much as I love Dolores and we love Dolo, she's kind of boring outside of Jersey.
Don't
like,
you? I agree
She's
with
still
that.
out of place. Like, what is
Yes.
Dolo doing in Scotland? Like, she had a sweater on at one point with a heart on it. With white.
Yeah.
And I'm like, what is happening here? Like, this does not play in the Scottish castle.
No.
Doesn't play in the castle.
You know, the one thing about when you start seeing Traitors in the very beginning, it's like so many people that
yeah,
it's hard to wrap your head around.
It's
Who
overwhelming.
are these it's very overwhelming. So she's getting a little lost in the mix right now.
She is.
So maybe if she remains and she doesn't get voted off, maybe we'll start to see a little more of Dolo come out. But I don't know. Right now, I'm like,
And you know what? We should tell you that we don't want to spoil anything. So we are going, there will be there's spoiler alerts. We'll throw a spoiler alert in there so you can get up and turn it off before we tell you who's gotten voted off, because we are going through the first 3 episodes, and that means 3 people are bye-bye and 2 are banished.
Yes.
They're banished forever from the castle. All right. So Robin from Potomac shows up. I'm not a Potomac watcher, but I do know her and like her.
Yeah. Like her, I think she's doing a good job so far.
Ayan, uber crazy cousin, of course.
Ayan, love Ayan so much. Love her look so much. I feel like she has no idea what's going on.
She's completely dysregulated.
She's kind of clueless.
Dysregulated.
She does look clueless. Like, whoa.
She was like, nobody has ever paid me to do anything with my brain. I must activate the brain. I was like, all right, Ayan. All right. Talk about it.
She's fierce. She's fashion. She's a booming personality. But on the Traitors, I don't know.
Traitors. Sierra from Summer House, another boring.
She's a little boring.
She's boring on Summer House, and I'm like,
you don't have to say much. She's gorgeous.
But it just shows you
stunning
that looks can get you far in this world, because she's not getting anywhere on personality. Sorry, Sierra. I mean, it's the truth. But would you ever, if Sierra looked like, the cashier at your local deli?
No.
Is she getting on television?
No.
With that personality, she'd be the grump that everybody's like, I'm afraid of the lady at the register. Don't make me go in there and buy my donut. I'm scared of her.
Yeah.
That would be. But because she is gorgeous. But again, it kind of dulls her a little bit, I feel like, because the personality is so droll.
It's so important.
Droll.
It reels us in.
But
I'll say this, on the Traitors, it might work with her because she's almost like in the background. She's so quiet and close to the vest.
To me,
people are going to not think about her.
To me,
vote her.
It's so obvious that Sierra would never be picked to be a traitor. She does not have the personality to carry it off. Not that she's quiet. She just doesn't have enough riz, as the kids say.
Pizzazz.
There's no charisma. There's no riz. There's no riz. That's what
she
kids
replaced Lindsay, didn't she?
Not replaced.
Was Lindsay Hubbard being considered, and then Sierra had to come in because Lindsay was thought like
Lindsay's an OG. I think they needed. Well, first of all, the show definitely needed some diversity. There was really not a lot of diversity.
Okay.
I mean, it's normal world. You're going to have Black people, white people, Asian people. I mean, everybody's friends in the world, right? So I feel like in the first couple of seasons, they really needed a more diverse background.
But also, I think because Lindsay was rumored with the pregnancy at that time, they didn't use her.
Oh, is that why?
So I'm wondering, because she's Summer House, Sierra Summer, or maybe they were going to both be on together. I don't know.
Sure.
But Dorinda apparently outed Lindsay about being pregnant. That's a side note.
I don't know but I don't think Dorinda's copping to that, is she?
She's not. No, but Lindsay recently was in the news saying something about it.
I don't know but I could I see Dorinda doing that by accident? Kind of.
Maybe.
Like, maybe because Lindsay's having the baby now, and I shouldn't have said that. It might have been something to that effect.
Sure.
But yeah, so then, all right. So then we've got Sam Ashgari. I mean, talk about
Elvis
wallpaper.
Did you calling him Elvis haircut? Is Elvis hairdo?
I'm married to Britney.
Other than being married to Britney, it says model actor. I never saw him in
there. There's no model there. What are you? He's literally a wall space. And again,
is that what it is? That's a good way to say it.
If he was your cashier at your local store and didn't look like Sam Ashgari, we'd never see this man ever. And he's not really even that handsome. Sorry.
Okay. Yeah. He's okay.
He was married to Britney, and now you're on the Traitors.
Yeah, on the Traitors.
Okay, I don't like it. Of course,
he has a good agent. Maybe he has a good agent who got him on. I don't know. Because I didn't know him of anything other than being Britney's ex.
They also need some people to vote off.
Okay.
And he would be like my first, like, bye. See you later, Sammy boy.
As we know, with these Traitor seasons, a lot of times these gamers are the ones that really
Oh, that make the game. Of course, these guys, like I said, he's set decoration. Let's
Yeah.
be honest. Sam is set decoration along with Sierra. They're
Okay,
giving you a little.
that's a good.
They're
Yes.
giving you some eye candy to go like, oh,
Ooh,
okay.
some
Then we've got
nice-looking
Gabby
people
from The
here.
Bachelorette, who is now a lesbian, which I knew that. But
Oh wow, was she an actual bachelorette or was she like a
No,
contestant on The
she was a
Bachelor? or
contestant
something?
on The
Oh, I see.
Bachelor.
Okay,
No,
very pretty. I have to say.
or was she on The Bachelor? No, I don't know.
Yeah, I know.
But
I didn't watch
I think
those.
she
but
was on The Bachelor because she's like, I'm gay now, because meaning that's when she was going
yeah,
for a
yeah.
guy then.
And that's why I think Chriselle, I'm going to jump there
Oh, yeah,
real
sure.
quick.
Jump
She
anywhere.
kind of bonded in with Gabby because Chriselle is from Selling Sunset
And
and she was married and divorced. It was very public on that
she was
show.
married to Justin Hartley, wasn't she?
She was yes. Yes, it
The
was
tracker.
Josh Hartley or
Justin.
Justin Hartley. Yes, and it was very public on that show. And then she dated somebody else on the show, and then after that, she became a lesbian. So I think they have that connection, like
Perfect.
her and Gabby. Yeah.
So Chriselle, Gabby, and our friend from the WWE,
Nikki
Bella,
Bella.
they call themselves the Bambis.
That's
The
cute.
Bambi Alliance, because they all have big eyes.
Big Bambi doe eyes.
Oh,
They're
okay,
very
I'm here
attractive.
for that.
I
I'm
can see
here for that. I
think
don't
it's
mind.
Cute.
All right.
They have a
so
little alliance.
We've got Tony from Survivor. You've got the gay royal Prince Charles' second cousin. What's his name?
Ivar.
Ivar.
I never heard of this
He's
guy.
You know what? Last season they had on part of the Parliament.
Oh, I know.
That was
What was
unbelievable.
that guy's name? He was great, actually.
Yeah, I liked him.
I
too.
enjoyed him.
And then
So maybe Ivar will bring that British
yes, he's got the.
sad.
And I love that he's like, I was married to a woman and I married a bloke. All right, love it. And then we've got Danielle from Big Brother, and apparently this chick Brittany. I like that they squashed their beef within 2 seconds. They saw each other, and she was like, "Brittany threw me off the show."
Sorry.
I know, and she was like, "Oh my
I didn't
god!"
mean to
and
hurt you.
I love that they squashed the beef within 12 seconds.
Yeah, right. And they're good now.
And then you've got Jeremy from Survivor. You've got Bob, the drag queen from RuPaul's. I'm ashamed of myself to say this. I'm ashamed of myself. I just want to out myself for saying that I've never watched RuPaul's Drag Race.
Neither did I.
And
I don't know.
This would probably be my second favorite show on the planet Earth.
I
next
would
to the
love it if
Traitors.
I was watching it.
Exactly. But for some reason, it's just never hit my,
Your screen,
it's
right?
just never gotten there with
me
me. I don't
too.
know why. I don't even know where it's on. Maybe it was on MTV. Maybe that's why I never watched it. And it was just like something.
It was MTV.
It just
I
never
think.
crossed my path. No, it's on something else. I'm not sure. Either way, we are back. We've got Bob Harper from The Biggest Loser. Bob, really
Like him.
I love Bob. I do have a quick Bob Harper story. I know, but just really quick. One morning,
Yeah.
I used to, when I lived in Beverly Hills, I used to work out at this gym that's no longer there. It was called the Fitness Factory, and every celebrity known to mankind worked out in this gym. And then there was yours truly. It was just all people in the industry. But I definitely was not, an A-list actor, like in movie. I'm talking movie stars like Ryan Reynolds, Scarlett Johansson, because it was a private training gym, so everybody was in there, but you could work out like on the machines and stuff.
And you would see these people on the machines.
I was having a tough. Oh, Ryan,
that must have been such a fun fetch for you.
Oh my God! Ryan
wow!
Seacrest. Who's the guy who plays James Bond? Blah, blah, blah.
Oh, Pierce Brosnan.
No.
Daniel Craig.
Daniel Craig. People like that, like crazy, like anybody. Sheila E. Like people like that.
Right.
Apollonia.
Yeah.
With Prince. Remember?
Yes, I do.
And
wow.
then everybody up to Ryan Reynolds.
Okay.
And
Yeah.
ScarJo,
Yeah. Right.
One morning it was just the three of us in there. It was ScarJo, Ryan, and me.
That must have been fun.
Well, and their trainers and our respective trainers. But anyway, so I bumped into Bob. I was having a moment on the treadmill, and I looked over, and Bob Harper was next to me, and I was just so upset that I couldn't, drop this 10 pounds that I wanted to drop. And I don't know, Bob was so sweet, and I was like, oh my God, it's Bob from The Biggest Loser. And then we just had this lovely conversation.
Oh, so
and
he was really nice.
He was adorably sweet.
Oh,
and that's when he was like Bob in the Bob Trainer years.
Yeah,
and then
right.
We went into now he's really aged. I feel like he had a very serious heart attack.
He
almost died.
Yeah,
and it was genetic. And then watching him struggle in one of these upcoming episodes, it was really sad, and I felt bad for him because he was crying. But he's definitely gotten he's turned into a little bit of an Elton John. Character.
Yeah, like it's more a little bit more flamboyance is coming out in him, but he just seems like such a nice guy.
Oh, yeah, he's
on
sweet.
the show
He's
too.
I mean, he's a good egg.
Yeah, good egg.
All right, so now, dun, 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 here he comes, Mr. Cumming.
Mm.
Comes out on his horse with his velvet cape that says AC, which I'm dying for. I mean,
he was
freaking
born
idol.
to do this.
And
I
with
swear.
with his beret. I mean, he's just fabulous. I mean, the fanfare, and then all the black robes with the gold masks.
Yes.
Fabulous.
Oh my God. Like an Eyes Wide Shut. That's what I think of when I see that. I'm like, oh,
very good.
It's creepy.
Yes, creepy, like sex, you know, what is it? The creepy
bondage or
like
whatever.
all, like,
Yeah.
crazy parties.
Yes. Like an Eyes Wide Shut. That's like what you saw. And you went, oh.
Exactly, Eyes Wide Shut.
But yeah, you have to bring that in.
So they all go away. And of course, there's one lonely mask wearing man. And we find out that it's Boston Rob. Boston Rob, who is the best game player, really. It's fascinating.
Is he Survivor or Big Brother?
Survivor.
He's Survivor.
He's been on everything.
But he's been on every. Okay,
last season, I watched him on Deal or No Deal Island, which I'm watching right now. By the way, which I love.
Yeah.
He's great on. I mean, he's great on any show that he's on.
See, these Big Brothers, The Challenge, Survivor, I have not watched these. So I don't know these people that well, but you watch some of them.
I watch Survivor. Yeah. I don't watch Big Brother. This is a mashup, and they're so smart to do it that way.
They're really, yes.
They bring in all these viewers, right?
Yeah, of course.
So we see Boston Rob, and they've got to, they got to decide, should we leave Boston Rob? And of course, because if you went up and shook his hand, you were going to have to exile somebody else. And I thought it was interesting that Brittany was like, here's my chance.
Yeah.
For Danielle to be like, okay.
Yep. And then Caroline looked like she was jittering out of her pants to do it, but she didn't do
it. It's Carolyn.
Carolyn.
Survivor. She's insane, but I love her.
She's fun.
Kooky. And I mean, could she be the best pick? The minute I saw it, I was like, oh my God, they're going to pick her to be a traitor. She's kooky and I love it.
Yeah.
So of course they send Boston Rob packing, but do they?
And he was pissed. That he was like, but he's going to come back.
But he knows he's coming back into the game because there's no way Boston Rob took
bring him all the way
there, his belly from Boston and put it on a plane to Scotland just to be sent home. No.
Yeah, he is in it to.
He's in it to win it and to be there. And then of course, we forgot to mention that our Sandoval, Tom Sandoval,
with his kill,
gross, disgusting, trying to steal the thunder. By the way, of our beloved Alan Cumming. He's got. I can't believe that wardrobe wasn't like, Tom, don't wear the kilt today. Like, save it for tomorrow. We don't want to get involved here, So anyway, of course, what is the first thing that disgusting, gross Sandoval does? He walks right into the breakfast room, right to the wall of pictures, and checks out his photo.
Of course,
because he's such an absolute narcissistic pig. Yes. I hate it, and he's stupid as the day is long. He's like, I look like an inmate.
Yeah, well, he does actually. So he got that right, but he is not smart enough to play this game. So I don't know how long this guy's going to last.
2 brain cells to rub together.
And
as I always say, they're divorcing.
Yeah.
His aren't even friends. His aren't even married. There's one at this side of his brain, and there's one all the way in the left corner of his brain. And
yes.
I freaking hate him. So
I know.
Checking it out, and now we find they're at the round table, and they pick the traitor.
Mm-hmm.
It's so the fans.
I love how dramatic, how he laps around and laps around,
and how he moves his hand like he's going to tap you, but he's not.
But he's not, and he stops. But he goes.
Yeah, I'm so terrified.
It's amazing. I love it.
The person next to the person who got tapped is going to hear him tapping.
I'm thinking the same thing.
I'm always scared.
But I do notice he sort of just does like a quick one and then he keeps going. Because I know he can't stand for too long because the person behind is going to go, oh, he just tapped the person next to me.
The traitors are revealed.
So what do you think of the picks?
I think Carolyn is a genius pick.
That's perfect.
That would have been my pick. She's so she's like a cat on a hot tin roof, right? She's
yes.
Always with the faces.
Oh, yeah.
So as long as she keeps that up, which she is, but
she's very jittery.
She's just jittery.
Yeah, you got to appreciate that, though.
Danielle, I wasn't really very familiar with.
I don't know her.
But she apparently was a badass on Big Brother, and I think she won. Or didn't?
No, I think that girl Brittany took the win from her.
Okay.
But Danielle does seem like she's out to settle a score with Brittany and maybe others. I don't know, but she does seem a little bit like
I am not impressed with Danielle so far.
Me neither.
There, just because of the first kill that she made was the dumbest move I've ever seen in my life.
Agreed.
And I'll tell you why.
Yeah.
I'll give you my reasons when we get there. But we've just picked the traitors. And who is the third? Oh, Bob the drag queen.
We'll call him Bobby D.
We'll just call him Bob.
Because there's Bob H and Bob D.
No, we'll call him Bob TDQ, like they call him. Bob TDQ. The drag queen. So
Bob TDQ. There
Bob
we
H
go.
and Bob TDQ.
Bob
all right?
TDQ.
For the moving forward. So
right. Now, what do you think that he's a good we'll figure it out.
I think he's a good
I
pick.
can't figure it out with him.
Well, he's a big personality, but you need a big personality and someone who's played game before to be the traitor. You cannot have a Sierra as a traitor or a Sam Ashgari. They have nothing to add.
No
you
way.
Need personalities.
Yes.
People that are.
I was kind of thinking they might choose Dolores.
No.
Because but she just doesn't.
She doesn't have the personality. The only one that could have carried it off with personality would be Dorinda. But she's too much. She can't hide anything. She's
very emotional.
She wouldn't have made a good traitor. That was a great pick for them not to get her.
Okay.
So of course, Carolyn looks like she's going to implode when the masks come off. Sandoval's looking around with his dumb look.
His
like
his eyebrow up.
Eyebrow. Yeah. Exactly. Like Chriselle said in one of the episodes coming up. Like, just like an idiot. Like, Tom.
He gave it away right away that he's not a traitor, I think. I don't know.
Yes, you're right.
Yeah.
Exactly.
It's like, oh.
And then the minute they walk out, Tom tells Dylan that he thinks Chriselle is a traitor. And we know it's because she hates him because she's friends with Ariana.
Right.
So he's probably like.
So it's personal there.
Yeah, right. So he's probably like, let me.
He's immediately trying to put a target on Chriselle.
So where are we now? So, all right, he's the worst. So now we go to the mission. They're on the dragon boat, and they've got to get some people off because the whole show, if you haven't seen it, the whole show is about them trying to bank money. So at the end, who's going to win?
The most money for the pot
are the traitors.
Yeah.
So, all right. So the first two people off the boat, I forget who was off.
It was Chanel and Robin.
So Chanel and Robin were nice enough to get off.
And I do believe Chanel just didn't know what she was doing.
I think she's just like, off. I must go. I have to use my brain. I must activate my brain. I have to get off.
And what did Robin say? She's like, I'm a selfless person, so I'll go.
And then they basically have to be in the ring of fire to get a shield to be safe from murder. So all the people that got onto these rafts in their boat, because basically they were collecting money and then they have to come back with the boat and set it afire to get the money.
Right.
So anybody who was on those rafts, Dorinda and Dolo are next, and then Bob H. and who else was it?
Bob TDQ and Danielle, and then Bob H. and Sam were last.
So those six are up for murder. And of course,
they don't have a shield, and they didn't do the last stop to get the money, which I thought didn't make sense.
Yeah, that was dumb. But
that was stupid.
But if they miss it, they'll get everything. Like if they don't get it there in time,
they don't get anything.
They wouldn't get anything,
and they felt like they didn't have enough time.
Right. I think
I don't know. I would have tried.
I probably would have tried to, but this is a very dysregulated group of people.
Yeah, and they weren't good rowers.
They didn't even get the rowing down.
And that was another thing. I'm going to pick on Sierra again for a minute, but she didn't know what the heck she was doing leading that. I mean, she did say fake it till you make it, but I'm like, you're going to put her in charge of this? Like, I don't know. Anyway,
realize this is the most time Sierra has been out of her bed. She just wants to be back in the bed. When are we done filming? Exactly. So they get back. Sandoval lights the flame, and Dorinda now is pissed because her and Dolo are sitting out there on the raft.
They're cold. They're hungry.
And they get back,
and they didn't wait for them to break bread together.
Right. And she was like, so I said, Dorinda's gonna blow it now because she's starting to run her mouth and she's starting to go, actually, not only were we cold and tired and eating leftovers, but we also could be murdered tonight.
Yeah.
And the minute she said that, I was like, Dorinda, you're putting a mark on you. Stop it. This is
she kind of forgets that this is a game.
They don't.
You got to be careful.
You got to be somewhat
her emotions
strategic. You got to be somewhat strategic.
And she's so smart. She is so smart. But the emotion overcame everything else, I think.
As Tony said, he was like, I'm afraid of her. She's like a mobster, like a female mobster.
Yeah, I think everybody's afraid of Dorinda.
Well,
I'm afraid of her as a viewer.
She's a lot.
I'm like,
she's a lot.
Yeah, she is.
She's getting picked pissed off, and now
But people are starting to suspect her
now the
because of that.
and now the traitors are donning their cloaks, getting
Mhm.
up to the turret. I
Mhm.
love the turret, and I love the music. Like,
I love it.
I am death, and death will be. It's like all this crazy freaking.
Oh,
And
God.
you see them up with the cloaks and the coming up, right?
Yes.
And then, the traitors reveal themselves.
They all look very happy that they're all,
They're
oh,
like,
yeah,
and then it's funny that they both say no one's going to suspect you, Carolyn, because you're just
yeah.
freaking insane.
Yeah, she's out of her mind. In a good way. In a great way.
And then we also see before the end, they do their little hellos and all that. And then we see Bostonrob in a cloak
Yeah.
in the forest that he's coming back into Alan's game as a traitor.
Yes. Yes.
Rob says, "You're a sicko. You sicko." And then the two other guys.
But
are gonna
I'm
be entering
so
the-
happy Boston Rob is a traitor.
Oh,
Because
they
of
need
the three
him.
that were chosen,
him.
they need a really strong
Strategic, yeah.
strategic
Boston
person
Rob,
in there.
He's
Smart.
really unbelievable.
He's the best.
He really
so
knows.
I was thrilled to see that.
So the other guys are going to be joining the game as well. And now we bunt into episode 2 of the Traitors.
Yeah.
And we see in the cages, right? Oh, and I wanted to just say the production value. Now, this show has already won an Emmy, right?
Yes.
The show's already won an Emmy, and he's won for the host, as he should,
Yes.
all day, every day.
Yeah.
But the production value is fabulous. The way they have the cages hanging in the air with the backlighting, with just the light rain coming down, and like they're shooting at night. It's so well done. The production value is fantastic.
It's
for a television show.
amazing. And were you thinking what I was thinking? Like, oh my God, what if those cages fall?
I didn't think that.
It was making me nervous.
I didn't think that, but yeah, now you're right. Like, what if?
Like, what's holding those things up?
Just
They're
a
not
little-
hanging on a branch of a tree.
Well,
Like,
they-
what the hell is it?
They probably had some cranes off that you couldn't see. You know, they were probably on like a
Probably.
production crane or something.
It was just making. If I was in that, I'd be freaking out.
So we see that it's Wes from the challenge.
Yeah,
I don't know him, never
this
watched
guy,
it.
But what did he say? He's cousins with what's the guy's name?
Fergus.
Like Fergus
He does
a
look
little
like
bit.
Fergus. That was funny.
Yes.
Derek from Big Brother, not a Big Brother.
Don't know
watcher.
him. Yeah, but looks like good player. He's a
So-
former cop, I think they said, or detective.
Cop, yeah, something like that.
Yeah.
And of course, Boston
Boston
Rob.
Rob.
And then now I'm calling it when they're up in the turret. I'm calling it turret talk.
Mm-hmm.
So we see the first murder. And of course, Bob the drag queens. Now I didn't like Bob the drag queen right off the bat because he said the housewives are an infestation.
Yeah.
Like he's gonna start kicking
They're
off my
targeting the
favorite
freaking
people.
housewives.
Don't kick off my favorite people.
Oh man.
And Carolyn, now see, here's Carolyn. She's like, nobody ever believes me. I'm like the turd on the wall. Nobody believes me. She's like, but this turd's gonna get to the end. But Carolyn is right on. Why are they discussing getting rid of Dorinda? Dorinda would be the Kate Chastain
Yes.
of this season.
She would.
If you remember, Kate Chastain, they kept her to the end because everybody thought she was a traitor.
Traitor.
The whole time.
Wouldn't you think that she was a traitor if you were playing?
Exactly.
I would.
Dorinda would have been that person that just shielded them, whether they thought she was
Yes.
a traitor or not.
Yes.
It's going to keep coming up because she's such a loud mouth.
Yes.
And we love her for it.
And she's smart. And I just banged her.
The
microphone.
dumbest thing is make sure your mic's on.
It's
Is your mic
on.
It should
Yeah,
be
it's
green.
on. Whew.
I had to get a little piece of tape over mine because I keep shutting mine off. I'm like a 2-year-old. But getting back to it, she would be the perfect shield for the traitors to hide behind because she's just, and the fact that they
Was Bob TDQ leading that? I can't remember
Well, he
now.
was.
Like
Well,
to say we
and
got it
Dan-
off. Well, he
well,
wanted to off a housewife,
Danielle
but
was leading it, and I'm like, this is showing me that Danielle
is she
is
that
not
smart?
good.
I don't know.
because,
I don't want to say smart. Is she that good of a player?
well, no, she's not that strategic.
She's
Yeah.
not that strategic, which is why I'm so glad Boston Rob is.
Yeah, so I really believe that Danielle not smart to be gunning for
And
Dorinda.
strategic. Yeah, it's just
It's
I'm
just
trying. I don't know her
the
to know
best.
like why
Me
was she
either, but
chosen, but
Dorinda's
I don't.
like a
I don't
gift
know.
from God. If
Oh,
you're a
my-
traitor. And then to get rid of her,
it was very disappointing to see her go first. I think
It
she
was
was one of
horrible.
the most talked about people joining it.
so
I know when I heard everyone joining it. Now again, I don't watch these gamer shows.
Dorinda's a
But
big
I was like, oh, Dorinda's perfect.
And Dorinda's also a big edge, and I am sorry that we
Hell
didn't
yeah.
we didn't give you a
What a
spoiler alert to walk away first. But
Yeah.
walk away now. We've sort of mentioned it, but we're gonna mention it. Walk away if you don't want to hear for real, even though we already said it. But
Yes.
Dorinda went home. No.
No.
That was so sad.
It just strategic. It just doesn't make sense.
It's so stupid.
We have to get rid of housewives. So of the 4 housewives on the show, we're going to start with Dorinda because people are already looking at her. Well, that's good.
That's good.
They think she might be a traitor. Exactly. Keep her in.
Or just a loudmouth that's going to make people want to get rid of. It's just she would have been perfect to keep her around.
She would have been.
Get her at a strategic time.
She would have been
dumb,
and she would have strategized some things.
That's what I think.
So,
and then I just
I
have in my notes that just Carolyn makes me laugh.
She's funny.
Carolyn makes me giggle.
Yeah.
Sorry, and I already said this. Tony said, Dorinda scares me, man. She's just like a big mobster. And then in the breakfast room, I have to just point out that Sandoval was spitting out through his T-shirt. Like,
yeah, so what was up with that?
Gross. He's gross. He was just in a hot sweater.
Does he sweat on Vanderpump? I don't remember. I
think he's just gross, and I just
he's
throw that
nervous and jittery himself, so maybe that was making him sweat.
I think he had that big wool sweater on and all the lights in there, and
it's probably hot. Yeah.
And I think of something else I read somewhere is that's like it's called the scream behind you're not looking out onto the hillside. That's like actually a picture, like it's like they're called screams, SCRIM, and they're it's just like a picture that's put there and they backlight it. I don't think we're not really looking out the window there, because it's like you're looking out onto the countryside. Anyway, I just thought that was
that's interesting.
Fun, a side note. But of course, Alan comes in and Dorinda's murder. and I love
how he tosses them.
Oh, I love that he throws it on the ground. Bam!
Bam!
And then Dolores is like,
don't do that.
And then Adam comes in, of course, in his beautiful plaid outfit.
Oh, I love his outfits.
I mean, his outfits are unreal.
And his looks.
So now everybody meets the 3 new players that come rolling through.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone reacts. And the 3 new guys have shields that they can offer. And a shield is basically that person's safe from murder.
Right.
So they can tell them. They don't have to tell them who they gave it to. And Rob gave his to Tony.
Yeah.
Somebody gave theirs to Dylan. Was it Wes?
I think
Wes.
it was
Wes. I am falling in love with Dylan Efron.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Oh, he's another one. We didn't mention him. I had no idea who he was. Whoa. He is on some show.
I don't know what he's on.
And he's Zac Efron's brother. And he
God.
looks a lot like Zac Efron.
Oh my God, I'm in love with him.
You know
His
what?
Body?
He's gonna be a good player on the show. You could tell.
Oh, he's amazing.
He's really
good.
good.
Only in the first episode, but he's really good.
He's
good.
Very
deductive.
He's very
deductive reasoning. On this
yes,
guy.
That's good. He's deductive reasoning.
He's very
and he
good.
Observes very well.
So basically the mission was the guys are hanging in the sky and they have to go find coins to let them down and blah, 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 blah. So they're all down. It was just kind of like whatever.
So 3 down means 3 shields are given out, which you said there are. So it was given to Dylan, it was given to Tony, and who else got the shield?
Derek gave his to Jeremy.
Jeremy, right. Okay.
Jeremy gave his.
So, yeah. Okay. So that was good.
Seemingly they're nervous about the new guys.
Giving the shields the way they did was smart because these guys need to have those good players on their side.
Yeah.
They chose 3 smart players.
It's funny that men went to men. I just thought that was interesting. Like, I wonder if it was a woman had come on.
Well,
if she would have given it to a woman.
Maybe they would have given it to Dorinda.
Oh, God. No, nobody's giving anything to Dorinda. She doesn't like, you gotta.
I'm just bitter that they got rid of her.
I'm so mad that they got
I'm so mad.
She's such good TV.
Away from the show.
It was like in the first season.
It really does.
But it's the Bravo people. In the first season, they got rid of Reza on the first thing.
That was so disappointing.
Oh, I was so mad.
Get rid of him.
I love Reza.
Crazy.
So now they can't vote tonight, but
No.
they're immune from banishment.
I did write down too. It looks like, as a side, Dylan, who we were just talking about, he's starting to eye Robin. And Wells is eyeing Robin. So Robin's getting a little bit of attention. And I'm not really sure.
You know what? I think it's because she has those beautiful eyes, like these blue crystal eyes. Everybody's just kind of like drawn to her and they don't know why. Maybe it's that and that she's not really a traitor.
You know what they call her on Potomac? They called her on Potomac the green-eyed monster.
Did they? Oh my God. Is she a monster?
But no, she's not at all. But
I like
her. And Giselle, who's also on Potomac.
I like her.
They're these absolutely, as you can see, Robin is stunning women and they have these beautiful green eyes. But yeah, I think that's just why.
Maybe.
And they're very good friends.
And they're just looking at her like, what the hell?
Green-eyed
this woman
monster.
looks mesmerizing. She must be a traitor.
Yeah, she's
So coming back from the mission,
Uh-huh.
Dolores and Tom are talking to the new guys. Danielle is afraid of Boston Rob. She doesn't want him in the game.
But I think the new guys are on to Tom. Like, this guy's a tool.
Oh,
They see it right away.
He's
Like,
a-
this guy's like,
but I love
ugh.
immediately. You can tell that Boston Rob is already looking at Dylan Efron. Like, this guy is. So Danielle, she's good, but she's not too savvy. I have in my note here, like she's not too savvy. And to get rid of Dorinda again, dumb move.
dumb.
Because as I said, she was the Kate Chastain of this season.
Agreed.
And I also have down here that Ion looks like Little Bo Peep. Ion, what did she have on? She looked like Little Bo Peep. She not knowing what is going on. What is happening here?
I do.
going on?
I appreciate her looks and her bold fashion, but she's a model, supermodel. So okay,
But that's happening.
But
So now we're sitting at the round table, and they're
this
now
is the first one
Banishment.
who they're gonna vote off.
Banishment. And I love that Chriselle just throws shade at Sandoval, and
Me
she's
too.
like, somebody who knows how to lie, cheat, and steal.
Right.
Sandoval.
Well, I think that was a smart thing to do
Good.
because she doesn't, they're all still getting to know each other. There's so many people. Hey, I'm going to start with you. Why? Because of that.
Exactly.
Right. And
So-
he is making it personal. So she made it a little personal back.
Yeah, no, I love it. And
Yeah.
then we find out that our boy, there's a spoiler alert, spoiler alert, spoiler alert. Wells is banished from the castle.
Which I don't fully understand.
He was because he's inconsequential. Nobody cares. He's not
Okay.
friends with anyone.
But
He has
why
no
would
alliances
you choose an
coming in.
inconsequential person? Wouldn't you choose someone who you really thought was a traitor? I guess they really thought because he was inconsequential, he was a traitor. Maybe.
Yeah.
I don't know.
It's but he doesn't know anybody coming in here. So he's not like he didn't have any time to like make friends or alliances.
Right.
Like you knew the housewives stick together.
Mhm.
Survivor people are gonna, they know each other. This guy's from nowhere.
But Chanel was very upset. And she was like, oh,
I love him so
Megan,
much.
he was so
You don't
sweet
know how
to
good he
me,
has
and he
been to
talked to me.
Yeah, okay, then nobody talks to you. All right, back up to the turret. The turret. They meet Rob in the turret as the new traitor.
Uh-huh. Yeah. I'm,
Um,
again, so happy to see that he's a traitor.
I'm so happy to see that is the end.
He
of
upped
episode.
the game.
Oh, he totally did.
Yeah.
But Bob the drag queen is clearly very, very pissed off about Rob's backward cap. As am I. I hate that backward baseball cap more than you could ever.
Just the
know.
look in general.
Bob
or
the Bob
on
the
him?
TDQ is the same with me. He's like, Rob, get rid of that cap. Even during the mission, he's like, I hate that cap. Get rid of it. It's a fashion disaster. I think Rob
Maybe
is
he's
probably.
covering a bald spot or something.
I was just about to say that. You took the words right out of my mouth. He's probably got a big Saint Angelo over here. The big.
Probably.
On the back of his head, and he's probably covering it up. And now we move to episode 3 of the Traitors.
Every
So-
episode is getting better and better.
Oh my god!
So good.
We're not covering. We're just covering up to episode 3 in this round.
Yeah.
But oh my god,
Yeah.
episode 4. Oh my god!
Mm-hmm.
All right, so we pick it up in the turret,
Mm-hmm.
and they take off their hoods and they react to Boston Rob. And
Right.
Boston Rob's reaction is as he says it nicely, these people couldn't be more different. He says, but meanwhile he wants
Which
to.
is why they must have chosen.
But he
them.
wants to say, I am so unimpressed by who they picked. He doesn't know. Maybe he does know Carolyn. I think Carolyn's a great pick.
Oh, she's a great pick.
She is she's the best pick.
Right.
He's second, and then Danielle's third. But again,
I think I agree.
but he's not happy to see who he sees.
No.
He's clearly like, oh God,
Yeah.
heaven, how am I going to wrangle this group of misfits? You
Yeah,
know what I mean?
exactly. Exactly.
And so, of course, now they're talking about murder again, and once again,
They're
Danielle.
narrowing it down. It's
Danielle, they go with another housewife, which I think is just a dumb move.
dumb ass move. The housewives are being targeted, and now we're starting to see a pattern. They want to get murder
They're
all
like,
the housewives.
Oh, no, this will create chaos. No, it won't. It'll just be like somebody who's got, I don't know.
Like
it's just-
someone's got it out for the housewives. Like we got to get them off.
I
I don't know. That's all I'm saying. But it looked like they narrowed it down to Tom, Dolo, and Chanel. Now, Dolo, maybe I could see. Why are you targeting Chanel? I don't understand
Well,
it.
she's
That
so,
made no sense
she's
to me.
so dysregulated and completely just to me psycho that it's fine to let her go.
Okay.
I don't need that frenetic energy. If it was
Do you
me,
think that's why they chose her?
no, I just think
Because she's a bit inconsequential. I think everybody knows she would not be a traitor.
that is the point. She's inconsequential.
Yeah.
She's easy to let go. Nobody's going to be super pissed that she's gone.
So then they were saying it was done to cause chaos. Like
That's
it's not causing chaos. I think it's just kind of like, oh, that was dumb.
But I thought this was funny. When they're, now, it's like they write the letter out, by the order of the traitors, Ion, you have been murdered. But while we're seeing that, they're doing all these cutaways. And then there's Sandoval in the bathtub with the rubber ducky doing his best smize, smiling with his eyes. He was smizing. And he was like, doing his smize with the duck.
Yeah.
Go, and then Sam Ashgari, this isn't The Bachelor. We're seeing him naked, which isn't terrible. I don't mind.
Okay.
But it's not really that kind of a show. It's not The Bachelor to do that. But they did The Bachelor scene where he was in the shower with the soap.
Yeah, that's right. Yes.
So now,
that was nice.
But Tom's so fake and such a loser that it hurts me. It hurts me deep in my soul. I hate him as much as Chriselle does.
Ever now. I mean, I think we knew watching him on Vanderpump Rules that he's not the sharpest knife in the drawer, but now you just see this guy is not really not bright.
If you've got 12 knives, he's like number 11. He's the 11th knife. He's the one before the last one that no one uses. So essentially, he's the last knife in the drawer. That's what I think of Tom Sandoval. He's just a dum-dum.
He really is.
So now we cut to the breakfast room. And everyone sees Ion has been murdered. I can't help.
But I just shrug my shoulders like, oh, okay.
Yeah, I'm fine with it, but I just...
It's not like, oh my God, because I was thinking it might be her. No, nobody would think she's a traitor.
But here's the problem.
It was dumb.
I have written down next is Danielle is a liability. Danielle's opening her trap too much.
Agreed.
And I know Boston Rob was thinking the same thing.
He was looking
he even said it like, she's like, she's going to bury herself. I don't even have to worry about it. But she's right in this episode 3. In episode 3, I think she's a little too confident. Like she's thinking I think she's overconfident.
I think so too.
Right now.
And she said, I'm an amazing actress.
Yeah.
But she
no, you're not.
So
Ion is unstable, I write, and she needed to go.
Okay.
Unstable.
All right. So they could have let her go with the round table, I think. I think getting murdered, I just didn't understand it. I don't know.
It's just, I think it was just it's a throwaway. I think these beginnings, nobody really knows. And the people
there's so many people.
And the people that are either kind of nutty and inconsequent, who are you, Wells? What?
Yeah.
Off. They're easy to throw off, and then our beautiful, our fearless leader, Alan, arrives with his black turban and the black shirt with the heart and the sequin pants. Sequin pants. He's got
yeah. Oh,
I'm just crazy in love.
I love him.
I'm just crazy for him.
I love him. He is mesmerizing. I'm going to keep saying it.
Did Dolores pick up the picture again?
She did.
Yep.
She did. She can't have that happening.
She can't have the housewives
she's
on the ground.
Her housewives get it murdered.
So then they do their little back and forth, their little gameplay, business. And I thought it was hysterical when they're going on the back and forth that Nikki Bella says to Sandoval, watch, but don't watch in your creepy way that you watch because you're so creepy. And she was like, and Tom's like, that's just my face. It's just my face. Your face is creepy, Tom Sandoval.
Oh,
and Dylan here in this little round of gameplay. Dylan's on to Bob the TDQ.
Yeah.
He's on to Bob the Dragon.
Which is showing how smart Dylan is.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's
intuitive.
Yeah. Very, very intuitive. Very intuitive.
So this was the creepy mission.
He respects Bob, and also he believes the faithfuls will win this.
Well, if
Dylan.
he's on the team, if he sticks around and they don't murder him because they're going to catch that he's onto it, but that you got to watch because then somebody says something against you and then they're murdered the next day. Oop, guess who the traitor is?
Yep.
So,
yep.
Now the mission is the fun house with the clowns. And here we are. Now, Alan's
nothing scares me like a scary clown.
Oh, God.
Oof.
And then just the fun house vibe. But I love the setting. It's like lightly raining in Scotland. The summer rain.
So
and then you've got Alan with his top hat, his scarf. And I feel like I wrote down to myself that he had a Mr. Peanut vibe with the top hat. But
Oh,
it was Mr.
yes.
Peanut with a hint of Beetlejuice, I thought. And then, like, of course, he's got the, the teardrop coming down the face for the clown.
The sad
The
clown.
nod to the clown coming down his cheek.
Right.
So yeah, so this mission is basically they've got to get through these doors. Let me just say, I thought so they have to describe it to each other, and when they go in and be strategic, like, okay, do I want to try to go in fourth? Because that way I should have known what doors are there. But instead of describing all of the diamonds and this one door's red and this door's black and this one's blue,
Right.
I
Yeah.
would have just said it's the first door starting from left to right. We're going through the first door on the left.
Totally.
Unless they
Because
weren't
all the
allowed.
doors kind of looked alike pattern-wise. Like, how can you explain the pattern? The patterns were very
But wait,
similar.
if I'm thinking of this,
Diamonds and
if I'm thinking of this,
colors.
Rob
It was
is
very
thinking of this.
similar,
Like
yeah.
all the players are going to think of this. Maybe they weren't allowed to do that because it would have made it too easy.
Oh, maybe they told them
I
that
don't
they
know.
couldn't
Maybe
do
they
that.
told them, but we
I
just
don't
didn't hear
know.
that. But I was
But
like,
what
why
you
aren't
said
they
is
just
right.
saying going from left to right, we're going through the first door on the left.
Yeah.
Now we're on second door on the left. Third. That would have been simple.
Maybe they said you can only explain the door as the way it looks.
Right.
Not where it's placed.
located.
Yeah, I
Because-
guess. I don't know.
But then when the
But
clowns
that was
came
a
out,
hard game. If I was playing that game, oh, forget it. I can't follow directions to save the life of
but
me.
you know what? You know what though is fascinating.
God.
The part of this whole thing would have pissed me off. Not banking not the fact that they didn't bank any money. That would have pissed me off.
Yeah.
Trying to get all that glitter off your face. It's going to be. I still see it. I still see it later in the night when they're all talking
Was
about
it still on them?
Yeah, because glitter is such a bitch
so
to get
hard to
off
get
yourself. And that was like, and they were even saying it, and you see them all just sparkling with glitter. I had a Christmas tree, little decoration out with glitter on it.
Yeah.
And I touched it with my hands. I'm still taking glitter off me. It's like a month.
You're
later.
right about that. You could have one piece of glitter
And
on you,
it's
and you just
forever.
can't get it off.
So
those
I'm
poor
giggling,
people.
So I'm like, God,
That's kind of funny.
damn.
Yes.
Anyway, so they didn't bank any money.
No money was banked.
No
I mean, it would have
shields.
been very hard to bank that money
No
doing that game.
shields.
No shield.
Dylan.
No money in the pot.
And Dylan is now big time floating Bob the Drag Queen's name around.
Yes. And it
And
looks
now-
like Jeremy is suspecting Danielle, who's one of the traitors. And then Bob the drag queen and Carolyn tell Danielle. So now Danielle is pissed at Jeremy. And Jeremy is another good, smart player.
Yeah, he's the survivor guy.
He's good,
You
yeah.
have to be strategic there.
Yes.
So now we're at the round table.
Mm-hmm.
We are talking banishment now. And,
Yes.
Well, also, he also went up to him and was like, you don't even know, and you don't know, and blah, blah, blah,
Yeah.
and ooh, ooh, ooh. You know what I mean? Like, before they even got in there. Because Tony's like, what are you doing? Don't, what? Like, because Tony told Bob, the drag queen, and he
Yeah.
went in to
Now
talk
Tony's
to,
in trouble.
dumb.
Mm-hmm.
Dumb maneuver. But that's hot-headed Bob, the TDQ. Like,
Yeah. This is why I can't figure out if he's a good trader or not. He might wind up being. I'm just not sure yet. I can't figure it out.
well, time will tell.
I don't know.
So Dylan goes after Bob, the TDQ.
Right.
Some people are going after Tony.
Mm-hmm.
And then I like how Bob.
It's overwhelming with Tony.
Right, and it's funny how Bob is like saying to him, "You're misguided. You're misguided. Your drag name should be misguided. You're so misguided.
That was good.
That should be your drag queen name."
That was good.
And
That was good.
everybody's still very at this point in the game. They don't know who's who.
This is what's hard about when it starts.
But
'Cause
this
it's like,
is-
who are all
but-
these people? I
but-
have no idea what their personalities are like.
But who controlled it? Boston Rob, because he
Yeah.
says, I got to do some dirty work to protect Bob.
Right.
So I'm going to go after Tony.
Right.
So he goes after Tony saying, look, I gave him my shield and we legit have not had one conversation since then.
Mm-hmm.
And I thought
Well,
it
he
was
was right
sus.
about that.
I thought it was sus. Well, it was a good argument for
Yeah, for why he did it.
banishing Tony.
After he gave him a shield.
Banished.
Yes.
Tony is banished. I'm sorry, I'm forgetting the spoiler alerts. Tony was banished. Sorry.
Now, he would have been good to stay in it too, but okay, he's gone.
So now,
And he
there's-
said that Rob was a sellout.
yeah, that
Right,
was
Rob,
kind
you're
of,
a sellout. He was a little bit because I think he thought of all the people, Rob was the one that gave me the shield. I thought he would be on my side.
yeah. I just thought, he's lucky he didn't be like, if I was going out and I was mad.
Mhm.
And
I would
be
say
like, you're a
something.
traitor. You should look at him. Who's rah? I
Yeah.
probably would have said some stuff.
Sure.
So now we find out that there's no meeting in the turret
Mhm.
because they have to shortlist 3 people for murder.
Now, do you
Plain
understand this
sight.
the way they were explaining
Yes.
it? Okay, tell me.
So what is your question?
So you have to choose 3 people for the short list for the next murder?
For the next murder. So there was
Okay.
no turret. They had to do it in plain sight. So they had to find a time where they were amongst all the other faithfuls.
Okay, that's
to-
why they met.
Right. And they went into the wine cellar or the hidden bookcase and they went in and talked in there.
Mhm.
Now, and they had to put 3 names on a piece of paper.
Right.
And those people were shortlisted.
Okay.
And then, of course, I don't know.
They don't show the names, right?
They
of who
don't.
they choose.
They didn't show the names,
Okay.
basically. And basically, the whole 4th episode isn't the 4th episode going to be because we don't see the nail in the coffin yet, or did
Yeah.
that happen in this episode?
No, I think we saw a preview of it.
Oh,
so
right.
I haven't seen.
So
You saw
basically-
4, right? I haven't seen 4.
Yeah,
yet.
I'm not gonna.
Don't
4 is
say
so
anything.
phenomenal. I'm not gonna say anything. So basically, they have to find a way, and basically, this episode ends with it's hard to meet in plain sight. It was also hard to get into that secret room because that's where the bar area is, and people are always coming in to get drinks and water or whatever.
Right. So when they're
So-
coming out,
Well, when they were in there talking, Gabby knows something's going on. She hears a voice, and she actually said, "I thought I heard Danielle's voice in there."
right?
So she's right on it. I mean, that would have immediately put me in suspicion for Danielle, but I thought it was a smart move on Gabby's part to not be seen by the traitors, to walk away because she's
Very
like, I was
smart.
afraid they were going to murder me right there.
Yes.
Like, or just go, uh-oh, she's heard us now. We've really got to get rid of her.
yeah.
So, and then if anybody had seen all 4 of them walking out of there at once, I mean, come on, that would have been just so like, uh-oh. And I love that Dylan Efron's right on it. He's like, something's happening. Or is that
Yeah.
episode 4? We don't even see that yet.
No, we don't see
that's
it.
episode 4. So
But
won't
you
go
do.
there,
It
yeah.
ends with Caroline coming out,
Carolyn.
and Gabby kind of sees her. So that's right. Carolyn and Danielle. I think coming out.
Carolyn, not Caroline.
Oh, I keep
We don't
saying
want to get
Caroline.
confused. We don't want people to think that Caroline Manzo is all of a sudden on the
Oh,
show.
I'm saying it. I think.
Carolyn, but that's okay. I'll just keep it going. We
Correct me if I
know
do
who it
it.
is. We know who it is.
But with Carolyn coming out, and I think Danielle, Gabby sees them. It looks like, right? Like, ooh, what are you doing?
But
in that
I don't
secret
see.
room?
But I don't know if that was just an edit. I think that might have been an edit because when you come
Maybe she
back
doesn't see
and when
them.
we talk about the next episode, it's kind of blown off pretty fast.
Okay.
So I think that might have been an edit. Like, wait, is she really right there? Could have just been.
Mm.
I think that was a little bit of tricky editing. Right
Okay.
there.
Okay.
And that's where we leave off. Those
Mhm.
were the first 3 episodes.
Mhm.
And episode 4 is out streaming now. So next week we'll cover 4 and 5 and we'll be all caught up, and then we'll just do 1 a week.
Okay. Perfect.
But the way it came out. But that is what's going on the Traitors.
I can't wait to see what happens next. So next time somebody goes in a coffin.
So it's called, the name of the episode's called Nail in the Coffin. And basically they have the 3 people shortlisted
in the coffin.
for death.
Okay.
For murder.
And
in
whoever
the
gets
coffin.
nailed.
And whoever's
is
nail
the-
gets put in by one of the traitors is the murder.
Okay.
big
Got
time.
it. Wow.
And yeah, so it's really good.
Ooh,
And
I
it's
can't
really, and I
wait.
love there's the fire and the nighttime and the castle. I mean, it's just
Oh,
brilliant. I just love it.
Yeah.
I mean, I could not love the show any more than I do.
right. I mean, I love the show.
Oh, I want to play it in the worst possible way of my entire life. I just want to get out there.
You would be so good on that show.
Oh God,
Laura, I would love
I would
to
be
see
a
you on the
pig in shit. I
Traitors.
would be a pig in shit. I
No,
would,
you really would, and
I
you would
just
play it
would-
so well.
and the first season they had like the Rezas and the housewives and the Bravo
Yeah.
people mixed in with regular people.
Yeah, right.
I wish they would do
That
that
was
now. But then
they literally were. I hate to say the word not nobodies, but not people that were in
no,
anything.
they're just random
They
people.
were just random people. So it was funny that they did that. But then in season 2, they
then,
just brought everybody
I
in
think
that
they
had been on
figured
TV.
That didn't really work out.
Yeah.
we need to bring more. Not that it didn't work out. It was actually season 1 was genius.
Oh, it was wonderful.
that was unbelievable.
It
and
was.
that the final betrayal of that was
yeah.
unbelievable TV.
Yeah. Yes.
All right, so we leave it here.
Oh, I
Episodes
can't
1,
wait to
2,
do
and
another
3.
recap of this.
of the Traitors. So get out there if you're not watching the Traitors. Watch The Traitors. It is so awesome. And until next time, we are out from the living room.
Yes, we are.
And we will see you next time.
See you next time, everybody.
Bye.
Bye-bye.